Well, 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 thank you so much for finding yourself here on the old What Was That Radio YouTube account, because this is going to be a conversation with highlight that then gets rebranded, reshaped, and re-released as What Was Short. You see, whatwasthatradio.com is all about discovering the latest in modern rock alternative. Then there's a podcast that breaks three ways: a conversation with, what was short, and what was that. It's also an arts academy and a community of wuzzers. Now, with what was short, because some conversations with can go up to 3 hours in length, it's where Mike, one of my best friends and the editor, takes his favorite little nugget, favorite little highlight from that, and bada boom, bada bing, when we're all said and done, including the intro, and what was short is only 10 minutes long, and in turn, maybe galvanizing you to go and interact and listen to a band that has galvanized me. Case in point, Broken Love, and Justin, who I speak with today. Thanks for being here. Please consider a cheeky like, subscribe, and share of this video. It would mean the world to me. What was that radio.com? What was that? Authenticity comes through for me. I love the fact that in Flies in the Honey, you're talking about this very fickle world of prescription medicine right now, the impact it makes on people's mental health. Yep. And without telling you exactly what I've already read that you've shared, how would you like to approach Flies in the Honey that I think is such a wonderful song?
Well, thank you very much. Well, it's just basically a shot at I guess you could say like big pharma, if you want to use that, throw that term around, and just the overprescription of drugs that people don't really need, and seeing, well, people surf. Let me backpedal. There are people that need it. There are some people that need certain medication. I'm not saying that all medication is bad. But specifically when I was writing that song and thinking about the stories, I was seeing it in university culture with my friends. And seeing them being prescribed all these, go pills and all this shit that when I had sort of experimented with, drugs and shit back when I was a little younger, like I had seen how some of these things that were getting prescribed worked in a different context, going out and partying, and then imagining how the fuck they work in, the academic sense. And then seeing some of my friends sort of go down this, as people like to say, like the gateway, there's gateway drugs and all that kind of shit. I'd seen people, go from just popping like, a Ritalin or two, like when they had to study, just crushing them up and then snorting them, and then eventually just doing cocaine, after that. And that happened to a lot of my friends, a lot of them. And it's not necessarily that I think that they needed to take the prescription amphetamines or anything like that, because I'm sure some people actually do need it. But I guess like when you were put in this sort of this how can I put this right, like this sort of when you're in the school, I'm just gonna say, I can't find the word right now, but when you're part of this thing where you have to sweat your ass off and work really hard and study your ass off, and you have this pressure on you to succeed later in life. Sometimes you feel that pressure amongst your peers where you're like, fuck, okay, well, I guess like if this is what I need to keep going and find the motivation and get shit done, then I'm going to do it, and then you would know the guy, you didn't actually have somebody, my friends didn't have like ADD or ADHD or whatever you actually needed to get these kinds of drugs. And, you'd find like the crooked doctor that would write the prescription for everybody, just because that was the guy, and then they would abuse the system, I guess, here, where you can actually have access to it and get it pretty easily. And it would just spiral out. And I saw it happen so many times, and it really freaked me out. And then also there's also some friends that fucking, they would get surgeries and then they get painkillers and then kind of go down that rabbit hole as well. And that was just basically when I was writing that song, it was basically just a shot at all these doctors that were handing out things to people they know didn't need it, or purposefully giving them the most intense, the most addictive, the most powerful version of the drug, that probably wasn't required. Like I had friends that got their wisdom teeth out. When I got my wisdom teeth out, they gave you like some Tylenol threes, like whatever, like the standard shit. I had some friends get like Percocets and Oxycontins and all this shit that's like so absurdly strong, shit that has ruined lives, has ruined some of my family members' lives, has ruined friends' lives, like shit that I wouldn't say fits it doesn't fit the diagnosis. You know, if you get your wisdom teeth out, I don't think you need fucking prescription heroin to help with the
Well,
pain.
yeah.
You
It's
know?
so nonchalant though. You
Yeah.
know, it just feels like, well, everyone wants the best thing now. Everyone wants the most shiny thing. Everyone wants to be perfect. Everyone wants to be healed immediately. So let's just go ahead and give you something that would usually put out a fucking T-Rex, put a T-Rex on its asshole for 2 hours out cold. Let's give you that after you've had a tooth extracted. You know, my dentist, when I got a wisdom tooth out a few years ago, was like, here's what we could offer you. I don't want to do anything than just numb your gum. And if you can do this with nothing, that's great. And then you can take some paracetamol or whatever, but I don't want you to take any T3s and gunk up your gut or anything like that. And that's why that song stood out so much to me, because I've seen friends way back when, before I moved here, I didn't go to university either. And a lot of them did, and they were doing exactly what you just fucking described. And by the way, that's 17, 18, 19 years ago, and our two stories combining, not a lot has fucking changed. If anything, it's got worse. And then even when I moved to Canada, and friends of mine here that are in their latter 20s, early 30s, going to do their masters. And only a few weeks ago, and I won't say my friend's name, you know, messaging me and saying, I can't stop taking this enhancer. I can't stop it.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in my smoothies. I'm putting it in this. Another friend saying I'm addicted to now like nasal sprays and cleaning out my nose. It gives me a kick. And just these little crutches that we all form in our own way. And it can be so dangerous, so dangerous. And that's what really pisses me off, is that word that I just said, the nonchalance of how we go about, in this instance, in this realm, just prescribing and next stop, take this, get out, you know, come back. If you really come back and said it didn't work, then fuck, we need stronger. And how much stronger are they going to get?
Right. I mean, it's just you know, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just that was very moving to me, seeing that experience. And like I said, you know, just to finish it up, having experienced, you know, because I've dabbled a little bit, and I'm not really I'm not a drug guy. I don't really like experiment. I don't even smoke weed, you know, like I used to a lot, but I've kind of grown up a little bit trying these medications, I guess, from the doctors, you know, in different contexts, you know. But that's what really opened my eyes. I was like, oh shit, this is for partying, and this is for this, and this is for that. I would never think of using it in the context that it was being prescribed for, you know. And that was when it was sort of, you know, drew the line for me. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a good thing to write a song about.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did. Full transparency, I would class myself a grown up, and I do smoke marijuana. Just to be a jerk.
No, I got a big bag of weed right beside me right now.
Oh yeah.
My band was just here, and they smoke a lot of weed.
Okay.
So I got some of the good Canadian shit, but I can't smoke. So
no, that's all right. No, I'm just playing. If you'd like to hear the whole conversation with Justin of Broken Love, you can find that by going to whatwasthatradio.com/podcast. Otherwise, thank you so flipping much for your time. Next week's What Was Short will feature Bexley from Los Angeles, a ferocious flipping rock band, man. So cool. God, I'm about to turn 35, and that sentence made me feel like I was 15 once again. I will embrace it and move forward accordingly. Whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, and as always, look after yourself. Hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it too, because you've got to cherish that positive. For now, cheerio.